Listening to this podcast right now! Do you want to hear a fucking podcast about anything and everything? Yeah. Like movies, music, television, and more?
Oh my god.
Well, you've come to the right place.
Yes.
Subscribe to Journey into Comics Network, and you get Podcastrophe, hosted by me,
Yes.
Dick. Why not throw a couple bucks to the Patreon? It's your choice. Yeah. This is a Podcastrophe.
That sounds so awesome.
The following
Following.
is a Journey into Comics.
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 Network.
Production.
This is a tasty burger.
You ever tried shawarma? There's a shawarma joint about 2 blocks from here. I don't know what it is, but I want to try it.
Do you want some coffee, Mr. Tully?
Do I?
Yes, have some.
Yes, have some.
Is butter a carb? Will you stop eating?
We elves try to stick to the 4 main food groups. Candy, candy canes, candy corns, and syrup.
I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of Foodies Watching Movies. This is Season 3. It's also Episode 5. I am your host, Nate. And today joining me, as always, co-founder of Foodies Watching Movies. You know her and love her. Welcome back, Miss Veronica. How are you?
Gobble, gobble.
Oh, gobble, gobble to you, too, because it's our Thanksgiving hangover special.
That's right. We're here to talk turkey.
I'm excited to talk turkey. Also joining us back for the 5th straight episode in a row. Are you officially a member of this show?
I don't know. I've been here a lot.
I think you should just become a member of Foodies also. Welcome back to the fold, Miss Sara. How's it going?
Do I get knighted?
I can fucking knight you on the... Here, watch this. This shit's real, live on the podcast.
Banana for scale.
Banana.
I knight ye, official podcast co-host
of Foodies.
Mighty banana of Foodies power.
It was intense. Thanks, guys.
Long may ye live, short may ye reign.
It's
all right.
Incredible honor. I've not prepared a speech.
What the fuck? Are you serious? You don't prepare a speech? You come on my shit like that? Come on now.
I'm peeling an orange. Does that count?
I guess that's good enough.
Yeah, you had a bit of misfortune with that prior to us recording.
Yeah, I
this.
stabbed it to try to get it started, and the juice just immediately just right in the eye.
That orange showed you.
Just like, why does it always just go right directly into your eye?
It knows.
That's what she said.
Yeah, it's like targeted.
Yeah, for real.
Sorry it was there. Had to. Anyways, so we've been very busy.
Yeah, like you said, this is our Thanksgiving hangover special extraordinaire, gobble gobble, whatever.
As we're recording this today, we've even still been eating Thanksgiving food.
I know. We've made a lot of use of these leftovers this year.
It's been a good one.
Yeah, we had a really good Thanksgiving. We had several dinners, and we've been able to make that glorious feast last until today.
Yeah, absolutely. It was cool to also kind of mix and match some of the different Thanksgivings that we had together.
Yeah. We ended up having a couple extra pans of a few things like stuffing and sweet potato casserole from one Thanksgiving, so we were able to bring it as a side to the next Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. And it all reheated really, really well. This was one of the best Thanksgiving feasts ever. I'm grateful for it.
It was a really great year for Thanksgiving for sure. Mm-hmm. While it was busy and a lot of driving and time spent in the car and what have you.
I work as a cook here and there, and I had to help make Thanksgiving for 300 people this week.
That's fucking crazy, your catering job.
Yeah, it was intense. It was really intense, but
that's got to give
good.
you...
Everybody liked it.
I mean, that kind of has to give you a different kind of appreciation and perspective in food when you're doing prep for that many people. So when it is something smaller like just a family of 4 that we're feeding, it's got to be
I can whip shit out super fast now.
It's
yeah, it's magic.
You need some mashed potatoes in 15 minutes, motherfuckers, or however long, 45 minutes or whatever it takes. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I definitely have enjoyed my catering job because I'm able to cook for large amounts of people, which is always a nice skill to have, especially when I like cooking for my family. And, I don't know, it's been fun. It's intense, but I know how to make a lot of cool shit now.
You definitely cook for a large family. You've got a bigger family, so it's always awesome to go to your Thanksgivings because it's just like a feast.
Oh my God.
Epic feast of feasts. Pies on pies on pies.
Yeah, but pie really wasn't the star at the Thanksgivings this year, although it came in as a, like the pinch hitter at the end there.
It's the backup star, man. This is
the leftover pie was...
We came away with 4 pies?
Yeah, pumpkin pies.
We got a bounty of
4
pies.
free whole pies that were left uneaten at random Thanksgivings.
2 standout pies, I would say.
Oh man,
homemade pies.
Do you want to talk about either of which one first?
Let's talk about the homemade pie that my Uncle Doug made.
Sure.
Ooh, it was
the
good.
one that he brought. Oh my God, that one was the best one. It was so good. It tasted like perfectly soft, like creamy.
Let's be clear, it was pumpkin pie. We didn't clarify it was a pumpkin pie. I feel like I hadn't had pumpkin pie ever until I ate that pumpkin pie.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Yeah,
there was nothing wrong with that pumpkin
Incredible.
pie.
No,
the crust was perfect. The filling was super perfect. It was very good, and I topped it with my mom's homemade vanilla bean whipped cream.
That shit might as well be ice cream.
It was unreal how good it was.
It is unreal how good it is.
We still have some of it because she made such a large quantity of it, and I've been putting that shit on everything.
Yeah,
so it's definitely made with all the stuff that hurts my tummy. So like the heavy whipping creams and stuff. So it comes with a price, but the price is well paid every time. I'm just like, oh, my stomach hurts so bad, but it was so good.
Yeah,
it was so delicious. But
this whipped cream is really good. Sarah and I were at the store and we bought these chocolate crisp crackers.
Oh,
they're
yeah,
like
those
just
were
straight
good.
up like chocolate crisps,
They were like waffle, like little crispy waffle cone cracker things, like wafers. They were like wafer crackers.
They were like wafer thins, but they were made out of chocolate. And we put some brie on it and some strawberries. And I think what I'm going to be doing in a little bit, actually, is make myself a snack with those chocolate crackers. And I'm going to do the whipped cream and strawberries.
Oh, instead of the brie.
Instead of the cheese, because we ate the cheese.
Brie was so good.
Yeah, that brie was gone.
It was just a double cream from like Strax.
Yeah, your basic brie.
But it did the job.
Definitely did the job.
Yeah, it did.
So back to it. We're talking about your Uncle Doug's pumpkin pie.
Yeah, that was the standout pie. And then, of course, the peach pie that we had.
Oh, man.
My auntie, I think it was, brought a peach pie that she had frozen from when it was like made in the summer or something. So it was really fresh.
Yeah, you had said that was like the place. She got it off of like one of those like orchards that have those fresh pies.
Yeah, Maryland's Bakery.
And
but they're like
immediately froze it though. Genius thinking, saying,
yeah, she froze it for Thanksgiving.
Have this for Thanksgiving. People are going to go nuts.
And it was a winner. It was really freaking good with that whipped cream on top.
Oh, they were summer peaches.
Yeah,
super good. Because sometimes peaches can get like grainy, especially when you heat them up in a pie.
And I could tell that it wasn't peaches from like a peach filling, like a can of peach filling.
Right, yeah.
Because there was still a little, like tiny pieces of like the center part where it's like stuck to the pit a little bit. There was like a little bit of that going on, but I didn't care. It was fucking delicious.
That's like the peach brain matter.
Yeah.
Because it's like all like woven-y and weird. I don't know.
Something
strange.
like that.
But yeah, no, those two desserts were absolutely fantastic. I've made myself sick on the pumpkin pie.
Yeah, we still have some pumpkin pie left.
Store-bought pie, but
I'm going to eat some of that later too.
It's still good.
Yeah, well, we have vanilla ice cream.
Well,
I've been jamming on that because I see I'm the annoying lactose intolerant person that has to. I don't like to talk about it. Other people talk about it more than me. But
it looks like you're on a podcast talking about it, so you might as well talk about it. Talk about your lactose intolerant shit.
Well, Breyers you guys were talking about the whipping cream, and I'm like, oh yeah, it was delicious on my pinky when I tasted it.
That's all you could have.
Yeah. But it's Breyers we've been buying, right?
The Breyers natural vanilla.
Yeah, they make their vanilla ice cream in lactose free, and it's real ice cream. It's not I appreciate all of the efforts of almond milk and all of the other various derivatives of fake ice cream. I've had plenty of that for however long now, right? But for whatever reason, people haven't gotten on board with real ice cream that's lactose free. But it doesn't taste no different. It's delicious. It tastes the same as their regular vanilla ice cream.
Yeah,
I haven't tried it yet. I'm looking forward to trying it.
I feel like I have a renaissance of 80s sundaes. That's what I've been doing, like when you just get the sprinkles.
These great sprinkles now.
Yeah, and the Hershey syrup and like maybe a few chocolate chips, like whatever you got on hand, That's some
kids sundaes.
I love that. So yeah, I haven't been able to enjoy that for a long time. So that's been nice. But yeah, that we do have. Put it on the pie.
Yeah, we've had some damn good pie. I feel like this was like a very weird Twin Peaksy themed Thanksgiving season.
Isn't it always?
It really is.
Tis the season. Family get-togethers.
Well, I'm not sure where we want to go. We could keep talking about the food. Obviously, we are kind of in that trench of food. We could alternately shift for a second. We are foodies watching movies. There is a Thanksgiving movie that's tied to you and what you love. Do you want to get into that yet, or do you want to talk more about our
Well, I guess
food?
since you brought it up, we might as well.
Well, I was just trying to kind
and
of...
there we are.
And here we are. So every year on Thanksgiving, around Thanksgiving, I like to watch this movie from the 90s called What's Cookin'. And it's one of my favorite movies. My grandma, my little grandma, she really liked this movie and made me watch it when I was younger. And it stuck with me. It's about several different families in LA and how they celebrate Thanksgiving and their cultural differences and traditions. And they all have fucked up issues and dramas. And it's like one of those 90s family movies.
Gotta save and correct you a little bit.
Okay.
It's actually a 2000s movie.
When was it released?
December 1st of 2000. So I guess it was...
Okay. I was like...
Well, it was almost in 2001. Yeah. Almost.
Whatever. It was 1 year off.
Still probably filmed in 99, obviously. So it has that full... You know how that like carryover year, how The Shining feels like the late 70s?
That Y2K vibe. It had that Y2K vibe. But yeah, it was a great movie. I loved watching it, and I made you guys sit through it, but you guys didn't get to finish it.
No, we did not.
Yeah, we had to put my little kid to bed because he was getting cranky, and it was bedtime and all that jazz.
Directed by Gurinder Chadha. That's what it says. Gurinder.
Yeah, it's got a nice, diverse cast. Juliana Margulies is in it. Kira Sedgwick is in it. And Alfre Woodard is in it. And... who the fuck else is in it? Oh, the guy from the Allstate commercials is in it. He plays the cheating husband.
At Allstate.
Yeah, and he sounds just like it, too.
Yeah, he plays the Republican who's having an affair with his, like, hot young secretary or some shit.
Yeah.
And those secrets start spilling at Thanksgiving. It's a good movie. I'd recommend watching it. Whatever.
Okay, well, rate it down to 5. What would you give What's Cooking'?
What's Cooking'? Well, shit. I mean, I didn't get to watch all of it to give it like a proper review to where I could be like, this movie stands up to how I remember it. You know how we've been doing. Like, does this movie stand the test of time? But honestly, I'd give it like 5 turkeys out of 5 turkeys.
Oh, wow. Bringing out the turkey meter.
Yeah, well, it's a Thanksgiving
Oh,
movie.
my gosh.
It brings back a lot of nostalgia. It's really a good movie for people who love food because you get to see, like, an Asian-inspired Thanksgiving, a Mexican-inspired Thanksgiving, a Jewish-inspired Thanksgiving, and a very Republican-inspired Thanksgiving.
Per Rotten Tomatoes on the tomato meter.
Yeah.
52%. Which is not bad. It's just a little rotten. It's like about halfway according to them. Audience gives it a 65% average liking it. Let's read a good and a bad review just for S's and G's here. Someone says, it wears both its heart and its politics too obviously on its sleeve for comfort. That review was written January 1st of 2000.
Clearly, they related a little too hard to the movie's themes.
Someone else says, a combination of fresh ingredients mixed together with skills to create a well-balanced harmony of diverse flavors. Delicious.
Ooh. How long did they plan that one out?
I don't know, but that's from August 20th, 2001.
Damn.
Jane Crowther, BBC.com. Are we on Brews with Dudes now?
Yeah,
I'm a dude. Sorry. Shout out to Nick Maxon and Bruce with Dudes. We love you.
Juicy.
Oh, you did it too. You got it right there on the spot.
She did it.
She did the thing.
Yeah, whatever.
She done did it. Okay, so let's jump back into it and talk more about our Thanksgiving feastage. You prepped a lot of Thanksgiving. I only prepped a little Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you made your turkey, which was delicious.
Should I break that down?
Yeah, go ahead. Talk about your turkey. It was very good and worth talking about.
First of all, let me just mention that to make this turkey magical, there is there's almost like a timer. You have to wake up at the butt crack of dawn. I'm talking get up early. You got to be up early because you want to get your bird in the oven as early as you can, okay? What you want to do is you want to take your turkey out. I had to run to the store before this, so it took me a little bit longer than my typical story.
I was going to say, you didn't get that turkey in the oven until the butt crack of 9.
Right. You're right. It was the butt crack of 9. It was like the back dimples at dawn.
I was making motherfucking sides.
It was the back dimples of dawn. We were like getting there. But so, anyways, I had to make the run to the store to get all the things I needed. Essentially, I used peppers and onions, a few seasonings, butter, and that's it. That's all you need for the turkey.
What kind of seasonings did you use?
Nothing else. Salt, pepper, and garlic salt. That's it.
Didn't you put rosemary in per my request?
Oh, well, that is a seasoning that was actually like a fresh seasoning.
Yeah.
Like that I just
herb
put
that you put
a
the
fresh
whole
herb
sprig
that I
in.
put the whole spring in the bird.
Right up the butt.
Right in the butt. Right in the butt area. In the butt region. In the booty area of the... Anyways, so what I do is you cut up your onion however the hell you want it. I suggest it to be a little bit smaller. You can move the onion around then and get the flavor kind of everywhere within the turkey. Same thing with your peppers. I use small sweet peppers, cut them up, and then you can, again, move them how you want it. You're going to put a full stick of butter in the middle of the bird up the butt, and you want a full stick of butter in the butt. And then you're going to take another stick of butter, and you're going to cut it in half and put each half under each wing of this bird, okay? Mm-hmm. And then you're going to take one more stick of butter, melt it in the oven, and slather the outside of the bird fully with butter, okay?
Excuse me one second. This is reminding me of this cookbook my family bought me a couple years ago, and it was called 50 Shades of Chicken. And it was a very pornographic cookbook about different chicken recipes and talking about, like, trussing up the chicken and... This was just starting to sound a little bit like one of those recipes, and it was making me laugh.
I'm about to bring it on because it gets even dirtier.
So much butter.
You slather that butter on that bird, and you want that bird juicing all over. The bird's just filled with buttery goodness, right? And then what you want to do is once that's done, that's when you want to put all your amazing seasonings on. You want to get your salt, your pepper, and your garlic salt. You want to shake the fuck out of them in your bag. By the way, use a slow cooker oven bag. Like for the turkey, a turkey bag.
Oh, yeah. Always. My mom always says when she makes her turkey, she always puts it in an oven bag.
It is the greatest secret because it does science for you. Mm-hmm. It makes things easier. And then what you get, and we're going to talk about this in a second. So also, 450 degrees on your oven. That's very important. Bam, 450. Mm-hmm. Let that shit get hot. Once that shit's hot and your bird is ready, you've got your onion, your pepper, your rosemary in the butt, as well as the butter and all the butter everywhere, the butter and all your seasonings. Tie the bird up nice and tight. Put it in the bag. In the bag. Then you want to put it in the baking dish, which you probably should have done this in the baking dish first of all, whatever your roasting pan is.
Yeah, maybe you need to work on how you deliver recipes.
I didn't.
Think about what your very first step is, and then every step after that.
I was just excited, okay?
I got you.
I didn't think to mention that you put it in the roasting pan first, but you do put...
most people know that when they're making a turkey.
Yeah. Use your fucking logic and reasoning.
You would think.
So anyways... the secret to the bag is that while it's cooking, it's also creating this double heat dome that's just regurgitating everything, but it's also holding in all those juices that for me is
juicy.
The secret. Because what you're going to do is you're going to let that bird on 450 cook for 3 hours. 4 hours if you're really feeling froggy. If we would have went 4 hours, what probably would have happened? Full bone annihilation. There would have been no meat on any part of the bone.
Yeah, the meat was falling off the bone when we opened the bag.
It was super. One of the legs, literally one of the turkey legs, the bone came out clean. completely untethered.
Yeah,
to
I went
any
to like
meat.
cut it and it just like came off. I was like, oh shit, all the meat's just there.
Oh, it was so good.
And then
it was good. It had that light infusion of the peppers. It had some good oniony flavor to it. It was really tender and juicy. It was a perfect turkey.
Yeah,
had it all.
I love cooking Thanksgiving. It is, like I've said several times, it's like sport for me.
Yeah, Thanksgiving is our fucking jam. Like this is where we excel. If we excel at anything, it's at cooking and eating Thanksgiving.
Definitely.
I mean, we had everything that you could possibly want.
Yeah.
We had incredible stuffing. My mom made 2 different kinds of stuffing.
Which one do you want? Okay, there's like a basic stuffing.
Yeah, it's not basic. It's a good stuffing.
It's a good stuffing, but it's just
got like 3 different kinds of bread in it. But yeah, she made a regular stuffing, and then she makes a White Castle stuffing where she takes the White Castle sliders and chops them all up, and that's the basis for the stuffing. And that's always pretty good. But I'm not a huge like fan of ground beef, so I have an issue eating a lot of that, and I want like the regular stuffing mixed with it. So that's kind of what I've been doing. And then
Were you gonna say something, Sarah? No. I was actually gonna bring this up on Sarah's behalf. It was interesting and kind of inception-y when we're at her aunt's house for Thanksgiving and people are talking, and someone's like, I think it was your mom, was like, oh my God, they have this White Castle stuffing, and I so badly want to try it. I bet it's so good, blah. And she's just going on, and I'm just like, it is absolutely delectable.
My mom makes it
and
every year.
Josette makes it every year, and shout out to you, Josette, because it is delicious. Thebomb.com. I don't like stuffing. I like her stuffing. Just saying.
It bothers me that you don't like stuffing because I love stuffing.
Sorry. I don't mean to be that guy, but I'm going to be that
You're
guy.
that guy.
Not a fan of stuffing. Okay, so we had the stuffing from your mom. The sweet potato casserole was okay.
It needed more brown sugar and
Yeah.
marshmallows. It didn't have any brown sugar or marshmallows on it.
Yeah, it was strange. Like
it wasn't
that.
very sweet.
No,
it was
full
more
of cinnamon.
savory casserole.
Yeah. But it looked like it was going to be sweet because it had all the pecans
Right,
in it.
it was misleading.
But then you jump back to the other Thanksgiving we attended, and Calvin's fucking sweet potatoes were insane. I'm
Ooh, yeah,
sitting
they were
there,
good.
and they're melting in my mouth. And as they're melting, I'm tasting every bit of seasoning and flavor, and it's all intentional, and it's doing exactly like he is chef on perfection level. Like, I really want to give him some props on that, because I'm sitting there like, oh, damn, just a hint of nutmeg, huh? And he's like, yep. And I'm like, wait 1 second. Use just a little bit more cinnamon. He's like, yeah, it's my little secret ingredient, a little bit of cinnamon. I'm like, okay. But your base is brown sugar. And he's like, no one ever gets that. And I was like, well, I do.
I guess I'm the best in the world.
I guess I'm the best in the world. He's like, you have a really honed palate. I was like, kinda. I'm just, at the heart of me, I'm a foodie. I mean, really.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and when something's good, you can easily pick out what's going on in a good, non-convoluted dish. It shouldn't confuse the tongue ever.
Mm-hmm.
So those were good sweet potatoes as opposed to the very basic sweet potatoes. I really still want to go out on a limb and do my plan for the sweet potatoes. And do sweet potato fries with a marshmallow drizzle.
That would be delicious.
Yeah,
I would also like you to somehow create some kind of delicious mustard sauce as well for dipping.
Okay. I'm into all those things.
Because I don't think I'd want a drizzle. I think I'd want like a dip. So I could have sweet and savory.
Okay. Okay.
Because you can do sweet potatoes so many different ways.
Okay.
You know what? We were just at Strax and sweet potatoes were on sale for like 39 cents a pound.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you should probably get on top of that and make us some sweet potato fries.
I'm into that. I'll have to get on that ASAP.
Yeah.
Other things we had. You should talk about your recipe. I talked about the turkey, but your star-studded recipe.
It's my corn casserole.
Fuck yeah. It's amazing.
Okay, well, I've been making this cornbread casserole for years, and because of like Pinterest and Etsy, or not Etsy, but like Pinterest and Facebook and all of that stuff, this recipe has become very popular, and like everybody knows it and has it and loves it. So my take on it is my favorite version of it, and it's super easy to make. And I made so many of them this Thanksgiving season. I made like 8 pans of it for the restaurant I worked at. I made one for you guys. I made one for my family. I made a lot of them this season. And I had like 4 people text me and say, hey, you're the one who makes the corn casserole, right? At Thanksgiving? What's the recipe?
And you're like, okay, I've already got it copied and pasted from another person that asked. Here you go.
Yeah, it has become your calling card.
Well, it's pretty good. My secret, it's like not really a secret, but what I do is it's, a can of whole kernel corn, a can of creamed corn, like a cup of sour cream, a fuck ton of triple cheddar cheese or like a mac and cheese blend of cheese.
Good to have multiple cheese flavor.
I like lots of different kinds of cheeses
Totally.
in it. And melted butter, and then the Jiffy corn muffin mix. And I don't like any of the other kind of corn muffin mix. I like the Jiffy kind, and it's super cheap. They're like 47 cents at Aldi's. And then you just mix all of that together and put it in a greased casserole pan and cover it with some more cheese, and then bake it in the oven at like 350 for like 50 minutes. And or until it's golden brown on top, or however done you want it. The longer you leave it in, the more like solidified it will get. Like
it's gonna become
bread.
spongy. Yeah.
Yeah, and
porous.
It'll be like cakey.
Thank you.
And the lesser amount of time you leave it in, it'll be more soupy. So I recommend 50 minutes to an hour.
You can almost turn your corn casserole into like a corn casserole pudding.
You could leave it as a pudding, or you could overcook it and make it into like bread, and like serve it with chili.
Ooh, that's actually an interesting concept.
Yeah, so that's my recipe. It's a winner. Hope you like it.
I love it. It's amazing.
Let me know if anybody makes it out there and if you like it.
So now we're going to get down to the real question of questions. Do you have also a recipe, Sarah, that you wanted to... You know what?
Ooh, she makes that dope banana bread.
The dope banana bread, but do you know what you did not get to make this year that we only slightly had one of that I'm so sad we did not have any of?
Oh, yeah, the deviled eggs.
Yep.
We're low on deviled eggs this year.
I love deviled eggs. We make the best ones.
Yeah. Yeah, deviled egg game is strong, but...
And we care enough to pipe it in piping bags and make it look pretty.
It's true. Consistency is key about deviled eggs.
Mm-hmm.
And depth of flavor as well. Not texture. Everybody gets it wrong when they start adding a bunch of like texture-y stuff in there.
Right. Like some people like relish in that shit.
Relish and like onions or scallions or something like that. No, leave it alone. Like use your seasonings and
I like celery salt and Worcestershire sauce in mine.
Yeah, it's super good that way.
Mm-hmm.
Brown mustard and a little bit of yellow mustard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the yellow mustard.
A little bit of mayo. Yeah, you gotta go. There's no good recipe.
Right, and then
you have
salt
to just
and pepper
do
to
it.
Taste and
yeah,
see how
you
it
keep
goes that day.
You keep doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that until you get it right. Mm-hmm. That's how you got to do it. But
I remember one year I made deviled eggs for Easter, and I soaked them in food coloring. Like the whites in food coloring. And when I took them out, they looked so beautiful.
Yeah,
like
they
pastels.
look really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I liked that.
Yeah,
and then I felt gross for using like artificial flavor coloring and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But whatever, they still looked beautiful and tasted good.
No GMOs.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I do like making banana bread as well, though.
Bring that on. That
I don't like banana bread, but I really like your banana bread.
Thanks.
And it doesn't have nuts in it, and that's what I really enjoy about it.
That's the secret to why yours is so good, by the way.
It was so, like, pound cakey, but, like, not dense like that. It was, like, perfectly fluffy.
Thanks. Yeah, I've been working a while on the banana bread. Yeah. But you just have to, with banana bread, it's all about when you're creaming together the butter and the sugar. Like you don't want to melt the butter because as soon as you melt the butter, then like it doesn't cream together the right way, and then it doesn't do it right. So when you add the bananas in, it kind of like gets this weird separated thing going on before you add the dry ingredients because it's kind of like making cookies. You do the wet stuff first, and then you add the flour to it and use a mixer and all that. Mm-hmm. Just different consistency than cookie batter. You're not making banana cookie, although that might be good. Banana cookies.
Oh damn.
Yeah, I haven't thought about that, but
like
I have the recipe written out, but I don't feel like getting it.
Yeah, you don't have to get it. It's okay.
Yeah, I don't want to read a
banana
recipe.
bread. How about that?
Yeah, but yeah, I made that just on the fly.
I'm really craving some pie now that we're talking about all these desserts.
Oh, and the bananas are also key. You can't use fresh bananas. You have to wait until they are like almost all the way brown or very, very brown.
Yeah, that's the key to banana
That is
bread.
the key because you have to have them at a consistency that they're just going to like mash, and also the sugars are more developed when they've had a chance to sit around.
Right, they're sweeter.
Yeah, they're sweeter. So, yeah, that's the other key.
Good point.
So good. You had one thing you were not thrilled with about your banana bread this year. Do you remember what it was?
No, there was not enough of it.
Well, that is one thing,
So
but also there was no butter to butter the top.
Oh, well, didn't have to do with my banana bread. That's because we ran out of butter.
No,
I only had one stick of butter, and it had to be like, okay, I'm buttering this pan, and I did not reserve enough to just put some at the top. Because, yeah, when it comes out the oven, you want to take the butter and melt some on the top and then sprinkle sugar on it because that gives it
I like
that.
the crunchy topping.
Yeah, it's the good stuff.
I like using raw sugar when I'm topping things like that.
Yeah,
like the thicker granules.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we've all contributed something. We brought essentially a full meal. You brought a side, I brought the main entree, she brings the dessert. It's perfection. Let's ask the question of questions here because I'm curious to know. What was your one ultimate thing you couldn't get enough of this Thanksgiving?
That ham was so good. The ham my mom made in the crock pot. It was cinnamony and brown sugary and so fucking good.
Definitely delicious ham jerky.
Mm-hmm.
It was so good.
Yeah, we've been reheating it for a couple of days now, and it's been delicious. I've been having it on, like, just as a little snack. We made a giant meat platter today, and a bunch of finger foods and crackers and breads and stuff just to make little tiny sandwiches. It was super nice. I liked the ham. That was my favorite thing was the ham.
Yeah.
Sarah?
Mine was also the meats in general. I think Nate's turkey and the ham were both very stellar this year.
Oh, thanks.
And also that peach pie.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that peach pie was good. That was good.
You know, maybe it's because I'm a basic bitch and I'm all about consistency. But to me, the thing that I just want to keep eating more and more of were your mashed potatoes.
Yeah, my mashed potatoes are stellar.
They're just so fucking good.
I make really good mashed potatoes. That's my thing.
See, the problem is they're starch. Starch fills your belly faster. So the issue is that I see your mashed potatoes and my brain goes, fuck yeah, let's have some mashed potatoes. And I put just a ton on my plate, like too much, like a mountain of potatoes. It gets almost like Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I can make a whole plateau of potatoes, you know? And then I'm like halfway through it, and my body goes, dude, you're super full, but look at the rest of your plate. You've got all this turkey and all this other stuff. And I'm like, okay, now I've got to be strategic and eat everything and still leave enough room to finish off these motherfucking potatoes. And that's the one thing I'm missing is your potatoes. So,
well, I can make those anytime. I'll probably make them with the roast that we're going to have.
Now that we're talking about
it, yeah, we've had a roast going in the crock pot all day. Oh, that's like my other favorite easy recipe to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've been doing some roast stuff. You found a life hack today about the roast. Do you want to talk about it?
Sara found this life hack today. We were standing in the kitchen talking about this freaking roast, and she opens up the cabinet and realizes that the whole time there's been bags for slow cookers.
Yeah.
And we had no idea that there was liner bags for slow cookers even in existence. We've been foolishly cooking our meat in the crock pot and then having to scrub said crock pot forever.
It's a fucking pain in the dick.
I'm pretty sure if I would have known that I could buy liners for my slow cookers, I would still probably have like 3 of them.
You only would have had one of them is what you're really saying.
I would have kept the original one that I ended up throwing out because I didn't want to wash because it got so yucky.
Chuck it in the yard.
Chuck it in the bin. It's out of here. It's fucking out of here.
Yeah, that was a crazy revelation. I can't believe those have been in the house the whole time.
I know. So what we did was it was early enough in the cook that we could transfer everything out of the crock pot, clean it real quick, put the liner in, put everything back into the crock pot, and save the fucking day.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So yeah, I'm excited to eat this roast. It's super easy to make. You put a little bit of water in the bottom of your crock pot. It's like a cup of water, a package of Italian dressing seasoning mix, a package of Hidden Valley Ranch dressing mix, and a package of brown gravy. And you whisk all that together. You put your meat in it, get it all juicy and covered up in the shit. And then I put a new... we have like a new peppercorn grinder that we found.
Yeah.
And it's garlic, pepper, and salt all in one. like sea salt or whatever, and I used that and some green peppercorn, and it smells delicious. And we chopped up some onions and carrots, and that's gonna be good.
Really looking forward to eating it.
Yes, it's been cooking all day, making this place smell magnificent.
Yeah. Are you gonna do the fingerling potatoes that we bought?
Maybe we should save them for the steak.
Oh yeah, we got some steaks.
Yeah. Tomorrow
we could just like microwave them and make them into little tiny baked potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
Fingerling potatoes, like with some like truffle oil or something, like olive oil and sea salt, would be really good with a steak.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good side.
Sounds good. I'm into that.
Okay, so we'll have mashed potatoes today with the roast. And then when we have the steaks that we got, we will make the fingerling potatoes.
Oh, yeah.
Have we made anybody hungry?
I'm getting there.
I'm getting there.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm glad we decided to do this before we ate this roast because it's like building up the anticipation.
Yeah, I'm all about that. It's funny, you bring a movie to our table in What's Cooking. Sarah, you suggested a movie to us to watch. Also as well. Do you want to talk about it?
Well, I guess so. We can all talk about it. I talked about it a little bit last time, I think. Or a couple times ago.
You've been wanting us to watch this movie for a while, and we finally had the opportunity to watch it.
Yeah, it's The Devil's Advocate.
Starring Keanu.
Keanu. And as I said before, he Keanu's it to death.
Yes, I
for
saw.
Sure.
I understand what you mean when you say that now that I've seen this movie. Keanu the shit out of this movie.
It's one of those ones I watched it in like middle school, and I didn't watch it again until just recently, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I needed the sounding board to know whether or not it aged well. It's just been sitting in there, you know. It's one of these weird like, what did I just watch? By the time it's done. I'm not going to summarize the plot because I don't like to do that. But Al Pacino, that's all I'm going to say. That's was the saving thing about this movie. He was very good in this movie.
It was a very 90s movie.
Very 90s,
very
yes.
Keanu movie.
Yes, it sits in its 90s nest.
What would you give it? What kind of rating would you give it before I tell you my thoughts about it?
I don't know.
Out of 5 pizzas.
Out of 5 pizzas?
Nope, 5 turkeys today, baby.
Oh, 5 turkeys. Out of 5 turkeys.
It's Thanksgiving.
Gobble, gobble.
Gobble, gobble.
Everybody was getting so annoyed because I kept saying gobble, gobble.
I love it. You did it on Gallif Radio last Friday. That was awesome.
I'm going to say 3.5.
3.5, okay.
Upon my rewatch.
I'm going to concur with that scoring of 3.5 gobble gobbles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I will say 3.25, 3.5-ish range on the gobble gobble turkey lurkey.
This movie also starred Charlize Theron, which is, and this was the second 90s movie that I've seen them as a couple in. The other one being Sweet November, which was a horrible fucking movie that I watched a lot when I was younger.
Yeah.
It had that stupid Enya song as like the main theme.
It's rough.
Yeah.
So I feel like Al Pacino is amazing in this movie. Like
he was
he's
amazing.
really the saving grace for the whole
Dirty old
entire
man.
movie.
He had that Michael Douglas from that Wall Street movie.
Wall Street?
Yeah.
It was Wall Street. Yeah.
I don't know.
He had that whole like Michael Douglas scumbag vibe. Yeah.
Like his, like,
Yeah.
Dirty old man.
Yeah.
Constantly laughing all
He
gross.
was great.
Like.
He was a great character in this movie. This movie had a huge Rosemary's Baby underlining theme to it, and I picked up on it immediately because when this young Floridian couple moved to New York.
Floridian.
Yeah. They're crazy down there, you know. So this young scumbag lawyer and his little Floridian wife.
Scumbags, both of them.
He's like he defends really bad people and gets people off for doing really
He's like Saul
things.
Goodman.
Yeah.
But worse.
But yeah.
Yeah.
And he goes to New York and gets a job. And it's got this very Rosemary's Baby vibe. And they get this beautiful place in New York, like a brownstone. And I was like, oh my God, this looks like the apartment from Rosemary's Baby where they're all fucking Satanists. This movie's is going to get really good. And it was interesting. It tried. And like I said, I agree with your score.
Yeah.
Free will, right?
Yeah, it had lots of little spooky parts.
Yeah,
little
I
scares.
appreciated it. I liked the spirit of it. I mean, it was Keanu'd. What are you gonna do? But,
yeah,
The Devil's
I didn't
Advocate.
like how they dealt with Charlize Theron's character. Like
Oh,
she
yeah.
just devolved in front of your very eyes. Because at the beginning she was like this blonde bombshell powerhouse. Like
Well put together.
He totally worshipped her, and they loved each other and all these things. Even though he was kind of an awful lawyer, you know,
Right.
never lost a case, cocky bastard that you don't really want to root for.
No, you don't.
Yeah, and then you find out why at the end. I'm not going to spoil it.
Based on a book, by the way.
I'd recommend people who want to have a nostalgic 90s vibe kind of night watch that or watch Seven.
Yeah, if you're in like the horror movie vibe, like that kind of horror movie.
Devil's Advocate dropped October 17th of 1997. Currently sits at a 66% on the tomato meter.
And it's probably
With-
just for the sex scene alone, because that was pretty awful.
Yeah, that was
With a-
that was a stinker.
It's a little intense, yeah.
With a 79% audience score across the board there.
All right.
I mean, I will say it's a little bit better on the rewatch than it was like initially, but then it's like some things are better. The story, some of the parts of the story, like some of the things people say early on in the movie, once you know what happens at the end, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
you know, that type of thing.
You pick up on a few other things that you missed. 'cause
Yeah,
you didn't know.
there's some little Easter eggs, you know, that are throughout it. That's like, oh, okay, that's they were setting this up the whole time, you know, in plain sight or whatever. But Keanu gets more Keanu'd as you rewatch it. I mean, it's just
excellent.
What did the 90s have? What was it about Keanu that the 90s they loved him? We loved him. We loved Keanu.
Well, he was beautiful, and he had interesting movie role choices.
True.
And
I
he
mean,
made
I watched a lot
made
of his
some
movies.
really cool movies. Like before like he became Matrix famous. Like he was in this
Right.
movie like My Own Private Idaho with River Phoenix, and that was super fucking indie and depressing.
I don't know that one. I just, you know, Bill and Ted. That's
Yeah,
you know.
I love Bill and Ted. They're making a third, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Bill and Ted 3 Face the Music. It's going to go into production here in a couple months, actually, surprisingly.
We'll see how that goes.
Before we go there, I have a bunch of trivia on the Devil's Advocate, and there's some interesting things here.
Boy.
Devil's Advocate trivia. What kind of person writes that?
Well, it's just
puts it out there for the world to see on the internet.
Interesting stuff you might not have known, you know.
Okay.
So originally the film was more visual effects oriented, blockbuster type movie, and was turned down by Al Pacino 5 times. Taylor Hackford went through a few script rewrites and then offered it to Pacino again. Pacino liked it but didn't think he could portray Milton properly and suggested Sir Sean Connery or Robert Redford instead. Okay,
Wow, that
so
would have been a
Pacino's
totally
like,
different movie.
I can't do this movie. Okay, the boxing match that Lomax and Milton attend was not a staged bout. In fact, it was a legitimate world championship boxing match. The boxing match occurred on October 4th, 1996 at Madison Square Garden in New York City. Roy Jones Jr., the IBF super middleweight champion, squared off against super top contender Bryant Brannon. Jones knocked out Brannon during the second round of the bout. Charlize Theron thought long and hard about appearing nude in the film after having turned down Showgirls for precisely that reason.
She probably should have reconsidered.
Yeah. The
Not
character.
to say that she didn't look beautiful, because of course she did. I just
Yeah.
mean like what was shot was just like she could have did better. Like they could have did better for her, you know.
The outdoor patio in John Milton's office was on the 50th floor of a New York City building.
No.
The actual stage was 8 feet away from the edge of the building. Thus, what one would imagine is a blue screen shot is actually real.
The fountains, you mean, like
On the rooftop. Yeah, he had these
Those are
baller
real.
like killer fountains on top of this office building.
I have a fear of heights, man. I get jelly-legged thinking about that stuff. I am
That
not
was an
good.
interesting scene.
with
was
that.
creepy.
Like even thinking about it, I'm just like, oh, no, I don't like that. I don't want to go up there. Don't ever take me there.
Okay,
You wouldn't have liked that VR that I did, where you're like on top of the building and there's like
Yeah,
a
I
big
don't need
robot
that.
like trying to destroy the city around you, and you're just watching the city crumble, and you're just like, oh my god, and then you get picked up by the robot, and then they drop you, and then it's over. Yeah. It's like, what was that even for? Why did I need to experience that in my life? Shit.
I don't know. Thrills.
A robot attack and death. Virtually, of course.
Well,
damn.
Let's hope it's not non-virtually.
Yeah, some dark shit. Yeah.
Okay, I was just trying to read through some of these different trivia things, see if there's anything good.
If not, you better wrap it up because I'm going to need to get some pie pretty soon.
The flamenco guitarist is Spanish musician Tomatito. No idea. Funny, here's a fact. You actually already brought this to our table. Keanu Reeves and Charlize Theron would go on to star as a couple again 4 years later in Sweet November 2001. So you had brought that to our table here.
Who can say
Oh, get on here with all that.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was that movie.
Ooh.
He played a very similar character, and she played the woman who would, warm his cold heart. And turn his personality away from being a workaholic to a free spirit. It was a horrible movie.
Sounds like a Lifetime material.
Oh, yeah.
Gross. Sweet November.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd see it.
Yeah, total chick flick from the 90s. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think you guys are ever going to see it.
Okay. Not all about that
Not
life.
anticipating it.
Okay, sure. I'm going to give you guys some number breakdown real quick before we rock out of here because we had a pretty huge weekend at the box office. I don't know if you guys even know this. So Thanksgiving happened to be a large weekend. Ralph Breaks the Internet debuted, bringing in a total weekend domestic of $84,750,405. That's
interesting. My little son got to go see that movie, and he said that it was really boring.
Yeah, I don't know if that's sometimes the kid. It's weird. I think sometimes kids in certain scenarios, when you take them to theaters, they think things aren't as good as they are because their mood that has nothing to do with the movie.
Yeah, sure.
They're in a funk or whatever.
Crabby when I asked him or something. I don't know.
Totally. Because it seems like it's getting the rounds. I covered earlier in the week talking about Stan Lee's cameo in Wreck-It Ralph. It's a very brief thing. Obviously, I haven't seen it yet, but I did read a spoiler because I wanted to know. So, yeah, it brought in $84 million domestic and another $42 million foreign, bringing its worldwide total to $127 million in its opening weekend for Wreck-It Ralph. And another movie that came out, you guys haven't seen the first one, and I really want to get you guys to watch it because I think even though you'll go, oh, it's difficult, I don't want to watch it, Creed was a great movie. It's the Michael B. Jordan movie with Sylvester Stallone. Michael B. Jordan is Apollo Creed's son from the Rocky series.
Yeah, you were talking about this movie a while ago.
And he wants to be a boxer, and it's his comeuppance, and like Rocky trains him and whatever, and it's really a really great movie. I'm pretty sure Ryan Coogler is the one that directed it.
So they're making another one?
Well, they already made it, and it came out this week.
Oh.
And it brought in its domestic total was $56 million, so it did really well. Also, it was a huge. There was $130 million domestically made in 2 movies on Thanksgiving weekend. That's not typical.
A lot of people go to the movies though around Thanksgiving anymore.
It becomes like that like holiday tradition now because things are open.
Yeah, I feel like so many people would rather go to the movies or go shopping or have takeaway instead of if they don't have somewhere to go or if they don't feel like going to be with their families.
Totally.
Or whatever. Holidays is a hard time of year for a lot of people.
Yeah, so I don't know. Also still trending in the theaters at the number 3 spot, Dr. Seuss's The Grinch. It's a new remake.
I heard that movie was really horrible too.
Yeah, it's not bringing much.
I heard it was real bland.
The Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald is out.
I have no interest in seeing that.
It was at the top of this list last week, but because Wreck-It Ralph just debuted, it got bumped down. And Bohemian Rhapsody pulling out the top 5 there.
I still want to see that. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, that's a crime.
And there's a lot of people. It's gotten even more backlash since we last spoke on the fact that there have been things historically changed and stuff about that movie.
Why do they do that?
Why do they have to ruin it? Why can't they just be tasteful and do, be respectful?
Why say stuff happen? What is wrong with the drama of real life?
Enough. It's not good enough. Oh, that doesn't fit our narrative. It's too. People will be expecting it.
Yeah, well, you know what? That man didn't
we
fit
all know
anybody's
how it turned out
narrative.
anyway.
Yeah, no shit. Like, it's
I
historical.
know.
Like, are we wanting a fantastical Queen story, or do we want to get a biography of what happened?
A biopic.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I will say the guy that played Freddie Mercury has been making the rounds because they released a side-by-side of footage from the movie and from Live Aid.
Yeah,
and it's
I
like
watched it. It was awesome.
exact. It's creepy how dead on he got every mannerism in the whole entire performance.
I want to see this movie.
I'm not against seeing this movie. I think we should definitely take a peek at it. I think are we all hangovered out?
Yeah, I'm still in my turkey coma. I'm ready.
Okay, so let's get out of our turkey comas here and take this one home, all right? As always, folks, you can listen to Foodies Watching Movies here every other Wednesday on the Journey Into Comics Network at journeyintocomics.com. Just get us on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher Radio, Google Play Music, or Spotify. Just search Journey Into Comics Network, where you can get all the different shows on our network, whether it's Journey Into Comics, Poor News, Poor Entertainment. I keep doing that Poor Report shit. I don't know why. Adulting Ain't Easy, Foodies.
It was fun to say.
Podcastrophe, Kids for Sale, Gallifradio, Brews with Dudes, Voice of Survival Podcast, Journey into Wrestling. We're all here. We're all there. You guys can find us all in one spot. Also, go to our Patreon at patreon.com/Journey into Comics. Give us $1 for early access and exclusive content. And you guys know what that means. As soon as we're done editing this podcast, it's in your guys' ears before it's in anybody else's. I think that's going to do it this week, ladies. I have been Nate. This has been Foodie Season 3, Episode 5. This is our Thanksgiving hangover. I've been Nate.
Veronica.
Sarah.
And as always, folks, eat fearless.
Gobble, gobble.